So why am I talking to you about mech mods? Why now? Well, recent FDA regulations are not very good. It looks like they're going to try to ban all of our equipment within the next 2 years. So a lot of the people I talk to, a lot of people I know, they're stocking up on mech mods because these things are basically indestructible. This is a steel mech mod. All it is a button. All you need to do to take care of this thing is keep it clean. You can take it apart, put it in the sink and wash it, put it all back together. It's going to be great. It's not going to brick on you in a couple months. That thing, this Blackhawk is at least 2 years old. It's like indestructible. All right, so let's talk about mech mods. Here's two of my favorite, my Stingray and my Blackhawk. A mechanical mod is an unregulated device. There's no circuitry in the mod, no LED, just a tube and a button. Since you're running directly off the battery, safety is very important. On a mech mod, you cannot increase or decrease the voltage, and the vape will slowly become weaker over the lifespan of the battery. Here you can see the schematic of a mech mod. Basically, it's a battery, a push-on button, and your atomizer. So let's talk about the difference between a mechanical mod and a hybrid. Here you can see my Stingray. It came with a hybrid adapter, so let's take a look at this. Here's the mechanical mod top. You can see a mechanical mod has an insulated 510 pin between the addy and the battery. Here's the back side. You can see this nice thick insulation, a large positive pin, and the negative housing. And here is the mechanical mod. So here's the hybrid adapter. A hybrid mech mod removes the insulated 510 pin and allows you to connect your atomizer straight to your battery. If you take a look here, here's my positive pin, and it's well beyond the negative threads here, so it's safe. Here you can see what I'm talking about. The positive pin right there, it's got a nice distance between the negative housing. It's not going to short or vent. Now let's talk about tanks and hybrids. It's extremely important that if your positive pin is recessed or level with the negative threading, that you do not use this atomizer or tank with your hybrid adapter. To be safe, you would want a post to stick out at least a millimeter past this negative threading. Here you can see it's barely past the threading. It's not very safe and it could cause a short. The reason you hear a lot of people say don't use tanks with hybrid adapters is just because of this reason here. Most of the time that's a floating pin. You can't adjust it out and it sits basically flush to the threading. It's not very safe and it could cause a short. So there you go. That's mech mods and hybrids. Next we're going to talk about how to tell if the coil build you're using is safe on these mech mods. Okay, so now I've built a 0.2 ohm coil on this Nixon version 2. How do we find out that this is going to be safe to use on the mech mod? Get yourself over to steamengine.org. I'll leave the link at the bottom here and I'll show you how it works. Alright, so I've built a 0.2 ohm coil and my max voltage on the battery is going to be 4.2 volts. So your amperage is going to be 4.2 volts divided by your resistance to 0.2 ohms. And that's going to give you 21. There you go, 21 amps. Now how do I know 21 amps is going to be safe in this mech mod? Well, it depends on the battery. I'm using a 30 amp battery in here, an LG HB6. If you click over here to battery drain, you can see I'm using an unregulated mech. I've got a 0.20 ohm. And let's scroll down to my battery, LG HB6. Here we go, 21 amps, 88.2 watts. and I've got a headroom of 30%. I'm still safe to use this 30 amp battery. Nominal voltage for this is 3.7 volts. See, I'm using less amps. So it's still safe to use even as the battery drains. It's not going to short, you're just going to slowly get a weaker vape. Now let's say for some reason you built a coil that's 0.05 ohms. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be safe. 0.05. We're going to hit enter, and look at that. It's 37 amps. Now my battery is rated at 30 amps. 37 amps, it's not going to be good. Just use the steam engine website. It's going to save you a lot of trouble. You're not going to have to worry about whether or not the coils you're putting in are going to be safe to use on your Mech mod. So, a note on picking out batteries. When you're using a Mech mod or any vaping device, you want to pick out a good battery, a battery that's going to work, and a battery that's going to be safe. It's very important that you do your research on this. I can't stress enough battery safety, battery safety, battery safety. Always use a plastic case too. When I buy batteries, I only buy 3 kinds of batteries: a Sony, Samsung, or LG. All the other batteries out there, Vape Max, Super Vape, or whatever, they're just rewrapped batteries from these manufacturers. They're rewrapped batteries that did not meet quality control or the manufacturer standards. Um, if you are looking for some good resources, I recommend you go to Reddit, Electronic Cigarette. Down here, there's a whole big guide on battery safety. It'll take you to safety grades. It'll take you to a list of batteries that have been tested and which batteries you can trust and which batteries are not good to use. When purchasing batteries, I recommend that you only purchase batteries from trusted sources such as IMR batteries. If you buy 2 batteries from them, they'll even send you a free plastic case. Also buy from Illume.com. I've always gotten legitimate batteries from these 2 companies. So why is it important that you buy legitimate batteries from legitimate companies? Well, let's say I went here and bought a bunch of these 30 amp batteries that are only 1500 mAh. Then I went on Fast Tech and bought 20 of these for $1. They say they're 4800 mAh. So I rewrap these, turn around and sell them as 30 amp, 4800 mAh batteries. It's fraudulent, but hey, guess what? All these vape companies that have these special 40 amp max batteries, they're doing the same thing. Only buy trusted batteries from trusted sources. I'm going to put these links at the bottom of the comments there, so you can read them on your own time. It's great knowledge put together by great people. But the FDA regulations, it's really important that if you vape and you want to keep it, sign up with CASA here, CASAA.org. Do what you can do. You're not just saving vaping for yourself, you're saving it for everybody. Everybody who uses vaping to quit smoking. If it wasn't for vaping, I'd still be smoking, and I haven't had a cigarette in 2 years. And I know I feel better, and I'm better for it. So if you love vaping and you want to save it, do your part. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's any comments you have, any critiques, any questions. I'll answer whatever you post down there. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.